What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Austin JK, and I'm back again with a different video than I typically would discuss. I just wanted to talk about some current events that's going on currently in our society. One of the big topics of discussion is tariffs. I'm a novice, I'm no financial advisor, but I love history. I love to know its patterns in life, and all I can do is make my assessments based off of what I consume and what I think. So again, I'm no financial advisor, but we'll get straight into it. So recently, our president and our government has decided to tax every country in the world. They listed a list of countries and also the tariffs associated with them, considering different factors, what they taxed us, our trade deficits, non-related tariffs, but that's still trade barriers, things of that nature. All that was considered, and we then decided to tax, tariff those countries. So currently we're starting off a trade war essentially. And with that being said, it might affect the U.S. consumers. I think that we will see an immediate, impact from it, but long term, it won't be as noticeable. I hope. But I'm no financial advisor. Just my assumptions. With that being said, so it's been a lot going on. It's actually been affecting the markets recently, which is bad in a way, because that requires people losing money.
I'm serious.
I don't watch that. So one thing I would like to discuss is this thing called the Fear and Greed Index. So it pretty much shows like where the market is, how typical consumer confidence is currently in the market, and currently we're at an 8. The Fear and Greed Index, we're at an 8. So it's a lot of fear in the market, a lot of apprehension, a lot of uncertainty. That can affect volatility. I don't think I said it correctly, but it can definitely make the markets volatile. There we go, volatility. It can definitely make the markets volatile. With that being said, a lot of people have lost money. 401ks have gone down significantly. When we look at the market, can I zoom in? Let's do the last 5 days. At one point on April 9th, well, there's been a lot going on, guys. We were at 5,000 at one point. We dropped all the way down to, on April 2nd, dropped 600 points in the S&P 500. And then we rose back up, and then we were also back down again. So it's been, the market has been pretty erratic. And if you have parents, grandparents, uncles, older siblings, anyone above the age of 40, give them a hug. Their 401ks have lost probably a significant chunk of change. Any type of retirement portfolios have likely lost value the last few days as a result of this action. However, if you're young like myself, we stand to gain from it. It's a perfect time to buy. It might go lower, but you just be consistent. One thing I've always heard from watching finance videos is time in the market is better than timing the market. So the more time you are in the market, the more times you're buying, the higher the likelihood you'll be able to profit from it. So where there's chaos, there's opportunity. And right now there's a lot of chaos and uncertainty in the market. There's been additional reports, saying that we're heading towards a recession. I think that is likely, but I don't believe that it will be a long-term recession. I think it will be more so an adjustment to the new economic standards and order we're setting across the world. Because we're such a large portion of the world's GDP, when we go through certain changes, the whole world is affected by it. So this will affect the world in its entirety. But you just gotta buckle up. I recommend everyone. That's one thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save more money, because you never know. If it's a shallow recession, it's not too big, not too long. May not be any job loss, but if it's extensive and it's can affect jobs, you definitely want to make sure you have rainy days savings saved up. That's something we all have to prepare for. And lastly, I just want to talk about Bitcoin. Seen an article here. They were saying Bitcoin going to hit 250,000 by the end of the year. I'm not sure about that, but even crypto has been erratic last month. High was on March 27th, 87,000, and went as low as 76,000. By $10,000 difference over the last month. So no one's been a winner. Everyone's losing. However, this is the game we play. And I know for me personally, if I have some extra income, the ability to, I will be, buying into the market. Primarily because I am young, and even if the market does go down, I'm a long-term investor. I'm not going to be expecting to realize any gains for the next 10, 20 years. So with that being said, you can see my location. That's crazy. That's crazy. They snitching on me. But yeah, I'm a long-term investor, so any of these erratic movements in the market, these high climbs, high drops, high rises, high falls, don't really scare me in the immediate term. Of course, you want to see your money go up immediately. You want to see your money double in a day. Like everyone wants to see that. That's not the reality. So just trying to accumulate over time and taking some risk. My portfolio is very risky, which I'm okay with. I would rather say I took a chance and I did some research and I believed in certain things that will accumulate wealth for me over the next couple of years, as opposed to playing it safe and not really seeing excessive gains. But we all have our own different strategies. But that's just a quick little update about my thoughts on the current market. And again, I'm no financial advisor, but just someone who enjoys listening to what's going on in current events and interested in history and things of that nature. So everything is cyclical. We might drop today, might drop in a week, might drop in a year, but eventually we always return to a good place when it comes to the economy. So keep your heads up, save money, invest, do whatever makes you feel better, whatever makes you sleep better at night. And have a good one. Peace.